Hey, Sydney.
Hi.
Hi. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Sydney Bostic and I go to Spring Mills High School in Martinsburg, West Virginia.
How old are you?
I'm 16 years old and I'm a rising senior.
Awesome. Sydney, can you first tell us a little bit about your start of your after school experience?
So I've been in after school activities before I could really think. I've participated in Girl Scouts. I'm in the Boys and Girls Club, FTC, FLL, all very exciting after school activities.
What in the world is FLLFTC? What are these acronyms? What's that stuff mean?
So those are first robotics programs. FLL is the first one you do, and you do robotics with Legos. And then once you reach high school level, you move on to FTC, which is working with metal and building robots with that.
Okay, well, let's start with the Girl Scouts. Tell me a little bit. What was your favorite activity that you ever done with Girl Scouts?
Okay, so I think my favorite activity with Girl Scouts was we learned how to kind of calm ourselves. So we made these little bottles out of water bottles, and you can shake them, and they had glitter in them, and you could calm yourself, and it was like a little timer. So you would flip it and all the glitter would fall to the bottom or to the top, depending on which one.
You still have that on the side of your bed. You've had that since you were 4 years old. That's something. Well, that's great for stress relief. So we know that after school programs definitely help with stress relief. Tell me a little bit about the Boys and Girls Club. What are some of the things that you did in the past, and then what are you doing right now?
So basically, in the past, I did photography at the Boys and Girls Club with Mr. Murphy, and that was an amazing experience. Whenever I was 5, I first started with the Boys and Girls Club, and I worked in their dark room basically, and I did a lot of framing my different works, and I learned how to professionally use a camera, which was just really fun. And now the most recent thing I did was I went to the Boys and Girls Club, and with my FTC team, I did a little presentation to the kids that were in elementary and middle school. And that was really fun. I got to teach them a little bit about FLO and FTC.
And don't you have a special role with 4-H now?
I am the president of the 4-H, of our 4-H group basically, and it's really fun because now that I'm older, I don't really get to interact with the younger kids as much because I go in for my FTC meetings, and those aren't during the times that the 4-H and FLL meet. So it's really nice to be able to work with the kids during those times whenever we have the monthly 4-H meetings.
That's really cool. Well, I know that you do some other after school stuff at your high school. Give me a couple examples of some of those things that you're in, like leadership or something you're involved in.
So I'm actually in my school student government, and I'm also in NHS, and I'm in leadership as well. Those are very fun programs where we basically work with the entire school to do different things with the community and different things with our school population as well. And so we host prom and homecoming. We do different events. Like recently, our NHS had an event with the Spring Mills Elementary School, the primary school, and then we also did an event where we cleaned up around the Spring Mills campus.
So you're pretty active. That's interesting. So what I really want you to tell them is the relationship between this photography and the Girl Scouts and these 3 international science fairs that you've been the first kid in West Virginia to represent your state at. Tell us about your most recent project and what you did with the elementary school students and so on and so forth. It was so complicated that I couldn't even begin to describe it. What was that about?
So basically what I did for this science fair was I created an app that was able to take college level material and kind of change its literary level so that it could be more suited for different grades that I would give the different work to. So I worked with a couple teachers in Berkeley and Jefferson County, and I gave their students these assignments, and they took a 2-day assessment basically, which on the first day it was a pre-test where they would test out their prior knowledge with a biology assignment, and then the second day they would use the modification of a college level assignment that my app created basically, and so I was able to see the differences between their scores between the first and second day, and see if my app was able to allow them to learn any of the material.
Didn't you work with another group too, somewhere else? Where were those people?
I also worked with a group in Brazil. So they were college students, and they spoke Portuguese, which is the Brazilian dialect of Portuguese. And so my app is also able to translate into 31 different languages. So with it being able to do that, I tested it out on an international level to see if the translations were accurate and they were able to digest and learn along with the West Virginian students.
That's so interesting how you start off at the Boys and Girls Club and you do photography and you learn all of this data analyses and everything, and then you get all excited through Girl Scouts and start wanting to change the world and creating apps and international stuff. Guess who just came over? We got a special guest. It's Stacy Roan from the Boys and Girls Club. Hey, Stacy.
Hey, Sydney. How are you?
So, just really quickly, I want Sydney to talk for a second, and then Stacy chime in on the amazing relationship that she's been able to have with Miss Stacy, the director, as a second mother, a leader, a sister friend, someone who loves her, someone who wants to see her life well. Tell me about one thing that you did with Miss Stacy.
I've done so much with Miss Stacy. It's actually kind of crazy. Miss Stacy has always been such like a great role model and an amazing person that supports me throughout my entire life, because I've known her since I was in kindergarten, basically. So it's just been like amazing being able to work with you on different things for the Boys and Girls Club, and also just out of the Boys and Girls Club in general. And recently I did a event with her, and I was allowed to be basically be a speaker at the event, and it was just really cool and exciting to be able to do that and host an event. It's something that I've never actually done before, so gaining different opportunities and new skills.
What about that scholarship she helped you to get for Moonshot?
So there's a scholarship, and it was a program called the After School Alliance with Million Girls Moonshot, and I was the only girl from West Virginia to get into that program for last year, and it was amazing. We actually got to do monthly meetings with them, and then at the end in July there was a meetup where all the girls from the program of that year, we all got to meet up at Georgia Tech, and I actually was able to do an entire speech basically with 2 other girls with me, and I got to share my experience doing different projects and different things in STEM. So that was an amazing experience, being able to talk to these people that didn't actually know my experience. So that was cool.
And so, Miss Stacy, what do you have to say about this young lady?
I think that Sydney has taken every opportunity and just had a great time to be able to express and shine. And the thing that I love about our connection through Boys and Girls Club is that we build community in a lot of different ways, and it's always really nice to build community around a young person who is excelling and wants to do a great job representing their state and their school and community. So Sydney, thank you for being part of our Boys and Girls Club family.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to this story about Sydney's after-school experience. We hope to talk to you soon. Bye.